I've created the most insane setup for Forza Horizon 6 and it just gets better and better and better. You're going to want to see some of the mad telemetry effects that you can do in Forza Horizon 6. There's stuff happening that you probably don't even know about, but it starts with this. This is the actual Lamborghini Revuelto wheel from Moza. That's the same wheel as in the game. In the game, I'm driving the actual Lamborghini, and in my hands, I have the wheel, which is just a madness. It has the same buttons. You can map everything the same. It does not get more realistic than this. I don't think there's any other wheel where you can do this. So in my hand is already pretty crazy. But then we're pairing it with the Moza mBooster brake pedal, which is an active pedal, which has ABS features in it. So it actually vibrates when I get to an ABS threshold that I set. And that's a fully electronic pedal, so you can move it in the software, and I'm going to show you all my Pithouse software. So that is absolutely insane. That's arguably the most realistic brake pedal that you can use in Forza Horizon 6. And we're pairing it with this, the Moza R25 True Torque Ultra, which is obviously 25 Newton meters of torque, but it has telemetry effects. And check this out. When I rev the car, it revs in here as well. There's a ton of effects you can do there, like ABS, traction control, all kinds of crazy stuff, and I'm going to show you. Now, obviously, this video is sponsored by Moza because I can't really afford all this equipment myself. So a big thank you to Moza for providing this and also sponsoring this video. Let's have a look at what you need to do to get your Moza stuff running in Forza Horizon 6 first. Really important, when you go to controls, you need to make sure that everything is device one. It needs to be device one. So what I would recommend is this. Plug all your Moza stuff into your Moza base, whether it's your handbrakes or your pedals, plug them into your Moza base, see if that works as device one. If that doesn't work, if it's showing device 2, 3, 4, whatever, unplug other stuff from your PC, even unplug your mouse if you need to, until you get it device one, because I think until you get device one, you won't have force feedback. So just unplug everything, get it device one, then you're good. And then I'll show you my advanced controls. So these are my advanced controls here for the Revuelto wheel, which is quite a big wheel, 340 degrees. So we've gone for steering sensitivity 0.5. Now you might have noticed that the steering wheel in the car, the rotation doesn't exactly match up to what's in my hands. That's deliberate. That's because I want a little bit more rotation in the game, because I want to actually not have a very understeery feel. I want to be avoiding traffic. So that's why I've done that. Also, you will notice there is one difference between the Moza wheel and the wheel in the car, which seems to be this Italian flag here. So I might need to get a sticker for that, but this is pretty crazy. Now, I promised you I'd show you Pithouse settings. I know you guys want to see it. So here we go, I've got it connected and I'll be able to cycle through my Pithouse. So Lamborghini Revuelto wheel here, running at 800 degrees. So that's really important. We're not running at 1080. If I was running at 1080, the animation would be the same, but I'm sacrificing the animation for having a much better feel on the wheel and actually like not being too understeery, not being too oversteery. 30% on my R25 Ultra True Torque base, you can see here. My mBooster, I've calibrated the throttle quite nicely. I've calibrated my brakes, so it's really not very difficult to get to 100%. Added a bit more travel as well than I normally do when it comes to sim racing. So I've made some tweaks there. On my wheelbase, you can see nothing funky going on. 30%, 30%, no interpolation or compensation, running at full performance. Nothing funky here apart from friction, 5% of friction. Otherwise, really nothing very crazy at all, and this is all running at 50% as well. I've got a slight curve on the force feedback. I've got a linear curve on this curve, nothing miscellaneous, and then I do have my telemetry effects here. These are the RPM that you just saw showing. So pretty cool stuff you can do there. Also on my pedals, this is my brake pedal, a little bit of curve running, so not that difficult to get to 100% at all. And then my throttle just running a linear curve. There's one other thing I need to show you, which is absolutely insane. You might have noticed already, and this is the fact there's no screen. There's no monitor or screen here, and I'm gonna prove it to you, okay? Because I can tell you that my car is driving at 26, 24, 25, 26, 28, 30 miles an hour, even though I'm looking dead in the camera. How is that? It's because there's actually a screen in my glasses, which is insane. So there's no TV or monitor, the screen is in my glasses. I went to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. I flew all the way there. I actually saw Moza there, which is pretty cool, but I also saw these glasses. So at this stage already, please rate my setup out of 10 in the comments. But this is the result, okay? So because of those tweaks that we've made, I've got gear jolt coming through. So I've got a really nice gear effect coming through the wheel. And you can see it's not too understeery, it's not too oversteery. We can kind of, oh, my wing mirror! My wing mirror's there. I thought we'd lost it. You can also, by the way, go into this view. Not a lot of people know there is a really nice dash view here, which when you're wearing glasses like this is like almost like being in virtual reality. It's very, very, very cool. So when I brake, I've got my ABS coming through the mBooster pedal. I've just set that at a certain threshold, so that's quite cool. I also have my engine like vibration also coming through the pedal. The wheel itself, there's a nice amount of force feedback, so I can understand what the car's doing. Like I said, there is the gear jolt as well. Not too understeery, not too oversteery. If I was going to make another tweak, I'd probably go slightly down on the rotation again. You've seen me like clip my wing mirror a few times. To me, that indicates I might just want to have a little bit more turn in. So when I'm trying to avoid something and I turn, the car just turns in a little bit more without going too much into the realms of oversteer. Now, I'm going to do something crazy. I probably shouldn't do this because this video is sponsored by Moza. Big thanks to Moza, and this might go wrong. However, let's see if another wheel works, okay? So I've got here the Moza KS Pro. Plug it in. Are we going to be able to hot swap? Well, the shifters are working. The screen is on. This is a bit risky. Let's see if anything's going to happen. There is force feedback. Oh, the RPM lights show, but they've gone off. They've gone off. Maybe. Oh no, the screen's on. And the RPM's on. And my gear number's there as well. And look at that, I've got RPM on the wheel. So with the telemetry effects, with everything connected, because by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, I've collected telemetry from Forza into the Moza R25 wheelbase. And I should... Oh, yes, I can swap through different dashes. Look at this. I've got a dash there. I've got a dash here. Whoa, I've got temperature. What? The temperatures are moving. I've got tyre temperatures and they're moving. Is there tyre temperatures simulated in Forza Horizon 6? I've got one with a rev bar. I've got this one. Oh my goodness. So I've got a ton of different screens that are actually showing me effects in Forza that I didn't know existed. And obviously using a wheel like this, you can be very precise. This is a more precise wheel, I would say, than the Revuelto. Should be less clipping of door mirrors. Right, I want you to rate my setup in the comments. Make sure to use my affiliate links, by the way, if you do want to buy Moza stuff, or go to www.simrigger.com/Moza. But I think this is the ultimate Forza Horizon 6 setup. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.